Okay, let's start. Okay, in this unit 9, okay, unit 9. No, that's not a unit 9. Oh, yeah, unit 9, whatever. Oh, really? Unit 9. Oh, unit 9. So from this week, your assignment score is getting higher, the 55. So, okay, that's getting more tough. Anyway, okay, so in this unit, and yeah, we will talk about it, the competitive advantage, and then yeah, we will talk about it, how to create the competitive advantage. Okay, and then in order to understand the competitive advantage, okay, so we start with the IBV approach. IBV approach, and IBV approach is a resource-based view approach. Resource-based view. Okay, IBV approach. Okay, and the strategy management. Okay, the strategy management. There are a lot of the strategies that can tell about it, how we can win without fighting. That's the main purpose of the strategy management. And in this week, we will talk about it, the resource-based approach. Okay, good. And let's see. Okay, so return back to the basic. And okay, so we learned about the internal analysis. We learned about the critical analysis. How we can conduct a critical analysis. That was composed with the external analysis. External analysis plus internal analysis. Okay, so then what is the purpose of the conducting the external analysis and the internal analysis? To know what? To know what? External analysis to know who? To know peanut. To know our enemy. Absolutely. What is the purpose of conducting the internal analysis? To know and to know thyself, oneself. Exactly. Okay, so what will happen if we know our enemy, if we know oneself, if we know ourselves? What will happen? What is the purpose of conducting those critical analyses? What is the purpose of that? Okay, exactly. Not to lose. Not to lose. Okay, not to lose. Absolutely. So that is, what is that? GPG기 100점 불패. Yeah, what is in Chinese? Yeah, in Chinese, what is that? Hey, no. That's this. Okay. When we know our enemy, when we know ourselves, when we know our enemy, and when we know ourselves, okay, so we will not lose. We will not lose. Okay. Good. However, knowing oneself and knowing our enemy is, yeah, that helps us to not to lose. That helps us not to lose. But however, it is not sufficient to win. Okay. And what is the purpose of the strategy? What is the purpose of the strategy? Why we are learning about a strategy management? What is the purpose of the strategy? Exactly, in order to win without fighting. Okay, good. So that's the purpose. And how can we win without fighting? How can we win without fighting? We create or sustain what? Sustain what? We create and we sustain what? You love that? No, we create a sustain strategy. I can't Harvard. What is how? Here is answer. Yeah, here you already have answer. Yeah, here. Can you see this? Oh, can you see this? No, not business strategy. I can. Here. Yeah. Advantage. Yeah, advantage. What advantage? Exactly. Yeah, competitive advantage. Okay. So the strategy management. Okay, a very complex things. Okay, a long story short. The purpose of exercising the strategy management is we create and sustain competitive advantage in order to win without fighting. Okay, what are those competitive advantage? What are those competitive advantage? You learned that. Do you remember? We will see that. We will see that in this evening. Okay, we will review that. And yeah, okay. But how about the technically speaking, or in your textbook from the Western people? Okay, and then that kinds of the competitive advantage come from the core competencies. Okay, and then we will talk about that. And the core competencies is composed with the resource and the organic capability. Okay, in the Western people's perspective. However, no, as an Asian, especially as you are a Chinese, okay, you definitely can have a better understanding, better sense of the strategy and the competitive advantage. Okay, and then there was 5 elements. Do you remember 5 elements? Dao, Tian, Do, Chun, Qi, Shang, Bo. Yeah. Dao, Tian, Di, Zhang, Da. Do you remember? That's the 5 elements we call that we need to create and we need to sustain. Okay? We will talk about it. That is becoming the competitive advantage in the strategy management. Okay? We will refresh that. Okay? Okay, and this kind of concept, strategy management, come from a book. What that book name? What is that book name? What is that book name? Okay. Book. I talk a lot about this book, the concept of this book. GPGD, yeah. 백전불패, yeah. 5 elements. Yeah, what is that? Competitive. Yeah, 5. Yeah, what is the book name? What is the book name? Where is it? Agnes. Where are you? Eudora, where are you? 손자병법. Yeah. Art of War. 선쯔빙바. Exactly. Art of War. Art of War. That war of art. No. A war. No. Art of War. Art of War. Okay. Good. And do you know? Have you ever read that book? What is the basic concept of that book? Let's see. And this video can give you a basic understanding about it. I know you learn, yeah, you hear a lot of the very fragmented concepts of the SunTzu's being the art of war. But however, we'd better to have a better conceptual understanding. We'd better to have a better conceptual understanding, not the fragmented, the fact or the knowledge. Understanding is much more important. What is the purpose of that, and what is the basic principles of that book? Okay. Then let's see. What is that? Give me a second. Yep. Work. Okay. Can you see this video? And can you hear the sound? Okay. Good. Yeah, let's see. Let's see this video, and that gives us an overarching understanding about the art of war. Okay, we will keep talking. We are now learning about the competitive advantage. Okay, the competitive advantage, creating and sustaining the competitive advantage is the basic and the most important thing in exercise and strategy management in order to win without fight. Okay, let's try to understand what the hell is that. That comes from the art of war. What is that concept? Let's see.
In the age of bloody civil war, 2,500 years ago, a Chinese military commander, strategist and philosopher emerged. His name, Sun Tzu. After successfully defending the state of Wu against its neighbor Chu to the west, a book formerly known as Master Sun's Military Methods was born, which has later become known as The Art of War. The Art of War is the most influential treatise on war ever written, consisting of 13 chapters, each of which is devoted to one aspect of warfare. It has shaped the way in which conflicts have been fought for thousands of years, from the Japanese samurai to the Napoleonic War. Not only has the book influenced military commanders and generals all over the world, it has had resounding effects on politics, sports, and business to this day. The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It's a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence it's a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. Sun Tzu has a holistic philosophy that if you follow correctly and study thoroughly, you will be victorious. Sun Tzu says, "Avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak." Sun Tzu is a strong believer that winning the war with as little unnecessary combat as possible is the key to true victory. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting, and the key to doing so is to know your enemy well. If your opponent is arrogant, pretend to be weak, so he will underestimate you. If he was relaxing, attack and give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them. Sun Tzu is essentially saying that if you know your opponent's weaknesses and how to exploit them, you will never lose.
So at dawn, the hopeless Athenians do the unthinkable. They attack. They attack the weary Persians as they disembark their ships on shaky legs after a month at sea. They attack before they can establish their war camp and supply their soldiers.
Sun Tzu says, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. During the mid-1960s, a war took place between the North Vietnamese Communists and the United States of America. Instead of confronting the Americans head-on, the Viet Cong had a different idea in mind. They used unconventional guerrilla warfare tactics, which included hit-and-run strategies. This proved very effective against the much larger military of the Americans. It's more important to outthink your enemy than to outfight him. The Viet Cong forces were inferior to the Americans in both man and firepower, so guerrilla warfare tactics allowed them to inflict significant damage while keeping their casualties to a minimum. They also had unparalleled knowledge of the terrain. This included a vast network of underground tunnels, allowing them to evade carpet bombing and escape the enemy. The terrain was also laced with various booby traps and landmines. Even though the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese were heavily out-armed by the American superpower, they were still able to defeat them as they truly understood Sun Tzu's philosophy. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. This philosophy can be seen in the World War II invasion of Normandy, known as D-Day. The British created several fictional units of troops stationed in Scotland who were ready to invade Europe through its northern regions, in particular Scandinavia. They then used several misinformation techniques to persuade Hitler that 350,000 of these troops were primed to attack. Radio chatter in Scotland lit up with the talks of these troops preparing for an overseas assault, and many of these transmissions were made easily interceptable. Allied spies who had been able to infiltrate the Germans reported these developments as well, reinforcing their legitimacy. These spies also took photographs of planes and tanks posed for invasion, but these were actually blow-up models in most cases. All this caused dozens of German divisions to go up to bogus locations and wait for an imaginary army to show up, whilst important battles were fought elsewhere. This method of dividing enemy forces was also employed to a greater extent on D-Day itself. Soviet forces kept around 1 million of the German forces busy on the Eastern Front, whilst the Allied invasion occurred on the Western Front. This tactic of dividing the enemy is one of Sun Tzu's key philosophies and allowed the Allies to achieve victory and eventually win the war. Neighbor Chu to the West, a book.
Yep. Give me a second. Yep. So can you see a map? Can you see this map? Can you see this map? Okay, and around it's around BC 400 or 500. BC 400, 500, and there was two nations, Wu and Chu. Okay, so maybe you are familiar with this area, the Wu area. Okay, Wu. Hangzhou. who is now in Hangzhou? And Suzhou, Hangzhou, and what else? Haikou, yeah, near to Shanghai. Where? Okay. So yeah, that is your area. That is area, the Wu area. Okay. And if you come from the Chu is Chongqing, yeah, somewhere. Okay, Chongqing. Maybe that is Chu area. And then, however, yeah, at that time the Wu was a small nation, and the Chu is a really large nation. Give me a second. Right.
West, a book formerly known as Master.
Okay, good. So yeah, is there anybody who is now in Hangzhou? Huh? Give me a second. Let's guess. Vanessa? No, not Vanessa. Ada, Hangzhou. No, Ada. No. Tracy, no. Who come from the Hangzhou? Hangzhou. Jenny. Huh? Oh yeah, I cannot remember. Huh? Aurora. Aurora. Yeah. Aurora. Okay. And yeah, so around at the time the BC 400 or the 500. Okay, so Hangzhou is a part of the Wu. That's a part of the Wu. Right? And however, the Wu has a fight. Wu has a fight against the big nation of the Chu. Chongqing. Is that? Yeah, whatever, okay. At that time, the Wu was a small nation. Okay, and then, they are not strong enough to win over the Chu. Then, they invite a wise person who come from Shandong area. Shandong. Anybody who come from Shandong area? From the north? Shandong. Yeah, raise your hand. Shandong. Nobody. Who must come from the Shandong? Shandong. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Qingdao, Shandong. Okay. Crystal, you come from the Qingdao? Qingdao, okay, good. Shandong. Qingdao is okay, so near to Qingdao, okay. And yeah, the Sun Tzu come from the Shandong area, and not far from the Qingdao, and he come from the Jinan or somewhere between the Jinan, Gokbu, and somewhere, whatever. He was invited to the Wu area as a supreme general, okay, because he was smart and he was wise enough to win something, okay, good, good, and fortunately, so Sun Tzu win over the Chu with his very unique philosophy and strategy and tactics. He could win over a very strong enemy competitor. Then he wrote down a book. He wrote down his experiences, and he wrote down a book, and he wrote a book of the SunTzu's Art of War near to Hangzhou. So probably many of you who are now residing in the Hangzhou or who are now residing in Zhejiang area, you may have direct blood. You may have a blood as a strategist. I hope so. I hope to believe that. Okay, you must be good at the strategy because yeah, that is transferred to your blood. But yeah, I'm Korean. I have no blood of that. I just love that kinds of the things. Okay, by books. In my blood, no, I'm Korean. So you must be a good strategist because in your blood you have that kinds of the DNA. Anyway, okay, so then let's overview. You see how the SunTzu's Art of War make a great impact on the warfare things in human history. Okay, why that book is getting more important for the strategists and for the many guys, and especially in the 21st century. Before 20th century, okay, we really fight. And however, we really fight before 1950s and before World War II, until the World War II. Okay. However, after World War II, we are fighting in business. Don't you think so? We are really fighting in making money. So business experts, business professionals are warriors. Don't you think so? It's becoming more important after the World War II. Until the World War II, we really fight. Okay. However, now, how we fight each other? We fight for money. Business guys, we are modern warriors. What will happen if we lose our war in business? That's not good. So that is the reason why a few number of the strategists, the business guys, and then we apply the concept of the art of war in order to win in business. I think we are warriors. Business guys, we are warriors. Absolutely. That's the reason why we want to win without fighting. Then let's overview what the art of war and why that is important. Why that concept of the strategy make a lot of impact on the modern business war affairs. Good. And however, throughout the whole semesters, and I am I am introducing the kinds of the basic conceptual understanding about the art of war, and then I summarize like that, like this. This is a summaries of the art of war, in my understanding. Okay, and maybe you heard these 7 principles of the art of war. You fragmentedly, you heard about this kind of things. However, this is my summary. Okay, good. 7 principles of the SunTzu's art of war. The goal of strategy, okay, what? The goal of the strategy is to win without fighting. Okay, that is our goal of the exercise in the strategy. Okay. And know your enemy and know yourself. In order not to lose. Not to lose. Winning is another. Avoid the strengths and attack weakness. Absolutely. However, many times we attack the strengths. We attack the strengths. There is a reason. Okay, whatever. So we will keep talking. And we must master the terrains to one's advantage. Okay, terrain is our business situation. Nowadays, we can understand that is a situation. We must be able to use, we must be able to create a better situation. Okay, that's our terrain work, terrain cultivating. Okay, cultivate the situation. Okay, and use speed and deception and the indirect approach to win. That is, I would say, that is related with this. Psychological warfare. That is related with this. Okay, absolutely. You must be good at master the art of the psychological warfare in order to win. Okay, and number 7 is a leadership based on the morality, discipline, and courage. Leadership is matter. Leadership is matter. Okay, so these are the 7 principles of the art of war. Okay, are you familiar with this? These principles in your blood. Yeah, in your blood, you must have this. Because many of you are the descendants of the SunTzu or Hangzhou, okay, or Zhejiang, or whatever, okay, and the Shandong. Okay, good. And let's go forward. Let's go forward. Please keep in mind we are exercising these 7 principles of the art of war. Okay. And yeah, I talk about that the competitive advantage. We are now talking about the competitive advantage. Competitive advantage. Competitive advantage concept was originated from 5 elements. 5 elements of the art of war. 5 elements of the art of war. Those 5 elements are these. Xia, can you help me? How can I write it down? How can I read it? Dao Tian, yeah, Dao. Pu. What is Pu? Pushing. Pu Tian, no. no. What? Dao. Dao, Tian, Di, Jiang, Da. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of those 5 elements in terms of the competitive advantage? Let's see. This is my summary. Dao is a moral influence. Moral influence, which makes people to be in harmony with their leaders. Moral influence or the alignment. Do you remember the goal alignment? Do you remember the goal alignment? Why we need to make a goal? Why we must start with a goal? In order to align our effort and our people and our mission, vision, something, and our all effort to achieve a goal. So what if a leader fail in communicating and share that kinds of the goals? What would happen? Absolutely no achievement, no goal, and no winning. So we start with this moral influence, morality, and then that gives us a goal setting. Throughout the communication with your people about your goals, you must make an influence. Many times that is related with your goals, mission, vision, goals, strategies, and then in order to win, in order to get the higher value form of the higher value, morality. Okay, and Tian. Oh, simply maybe we can understand that is a weather. No. That's a business environment. Business environment, external environment. Okay, the interaction of the natural forces or the effect of the winter's cold summer. No. That's the external environment. Business external environment. Business external environment. Okay, for example, nowadays many of the small and medium-sized businesses are now dying. Why? Why the small and medium-sized enterprises are dying now? Because of what? Now. Because of what? Because they make a mistake by themselves? No, I don't think so. And the small shops, small restaurants, and the many small size of the enterprises, they are now dying. What is now happening? What kinds of external environment we have? Mandy, why we are now doing the online class? Coronavirus, okay? Is it an internal thing? Is it an external thing? That's given. That's a given thing. That's an external environment, external input, external something. That's a given condition. Maybe we can understand that as a Tian. Even though I am here, and sometimes Tian and give us a yo, blah. Okay. That happens. Okay. However, we must be able to understand what the hell is going on now in our environment. So we must be able to understand and adapt, change. Okay, and the T and the T, okay, the earth or the terrain, that's a distance, shape of the ground, is of the difficulties of the movement, okay, whatever, maybe we can understand that's a situation you create. Okay, environment is given. Environment is given, however, though, maybe we can change, we can cultivate our situation. Maybe you can build a large shelter, maybe you can avoid that kinds of the environmental impact or something. You must make your own choice to respond. We must be able to make a situation. Okay, that's using the earth. Maybe you can hide from the tree, and you can hide from the something. You may dig into the ground, or maybe you can fly over somewhere. That's your response. Okay. And absolutely, that is a general. Okay, that's the leadership. Command. The generous quality of the wisdom and the sincerity, humanity, courage, and the strictness. Whatever, okay, leadership is a matter. Even though we have the same situation about the coronavirus, okay, so you know that all around the world, almost all nations are encountering in countering to the coronavirus. Okay, but however, several countries are good at. Several countries are good at dealing with the disease, coronavirus. But many are not good at. Why? Okay, and what kinds of countries are good at dealing with the coronavirus now? Give me an example. Absolutely, China. Good. Any other countries who are now good, who are now dealing and controlling the coronavirus good? Give an example. China. Do you think that China is now controlling the coronavirus well? Yes or no? Yes, okay. I think so. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay. And China and any other countries? China and Korea. Japan? No. North Korea? No. I don't think so. I'm skeptical. I'm suspicious. Japan? No. Oh. Vanessa, unfortunately, I don't know. Italy, yeah, every day more than 1,000 people are now dying for the coronavirus in Italy. Serbia, no. Okay, China, I think that Korea, because I'm Korean, yeah, shut up, yeah, I'm Korea, and Taiwan and Singapore, a little, Singapore, and Hong Kong, okay, and by region, okay. And now, maybe you can observe that what's going on in China, Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. And then, yeah, we are now experiencing a tough time, but however, these countries are now controlling. They are now controlling the coronavirus sufficiently. Okay now. But however, yeah, who is now failing? Many of the countries like failing in managing or controlling the disease. How about the US? USA. They are now controlling or not controlling? Cannot control it. They are good at. They are winning over the coronavirus. Italy, France, UK, Spain, Germany is not bad, but not good. Belgium, Brazil. I think these countries are now failing in managing coronavirus. Then let's think about why they are failing in managing. Why they are failing? Why they are failing? Guess. Any guess? What is the big difference between the China, Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, and USA, Italy, France, UK, Spain, Brazil? What is the biggest difference? Political system and the mindset? Mindset? I don't think so. Political system? Hey, Chinese political system is quite different from the Korea, Taiwan, Singapore. Political system is not a matter. Do not have the right command? So who make a command? Who make a command? Leader. Okay. So the biggest difference between these two groups of the nations is problem of the leadership. This. I don't know what is good and what bad, but how about at least, yeah, we need to control the coronavirus. This is the emergency. This is the emergency situation. Emergency. Don't you think so? Coronavirus is an emergent one or not? Do you think that the coronavirus is an emergency thing or the not emergency thing? It's a crisis or not? Coronavirus is given crisis or not? It's a crisis. It's a very important crisis. It's very influential crisis or not? Do you think so? What do you think so? Yes or no? I think that's yes. Coronavirus is a very given and very difficult and a very challenging and very emergent and very challenging crisis. Okay? In responding to the crisis, a few number of the countries are good at. However, many of the countries are not good at. They are losing their people. They are losing their people. A lot of people are not dying for the coronavirus because the nations and the leaders failing in exercising their control and command. That difference comes from their leadership. Do you think that Trump will make a good leadership? UK has a good leadership? France has a good leadership? In the crisis? Do you think so? Yes or no? Okay. So good leadership. Leadership in crisis of the USA, UK, France, okay, and Brazil, and Italy. Think about it. According to the quality of the leadership, and we can control or manage the situation or not. That is a competitive advantage. That is a competitive advantage. Okay, so that is conceptualized as 장, leadership. Okay, and the video said about it. Okay, mindset something, mindset of the people. Okay, but however, that is not a problem of the mindset. That's not a psychological something. That's a doctrine. Doctrine. Organization, control, assignment, regulation of the supply route, supply route or something, or doctrine, principle. Okay. So, are you wearing a mask when you go out? Are you wearing a mask when you go out? Why? Why you wear a mask when you go out? Why? Absolutely. Protect yourself and protect the others. Okay, what will happen if you do not take a mask and go out? What will happen? And the policeman come to you and beat you, torture you, torture you. And the Chinese police come to you and because you torture you? Yes or no? If you do not take a mask. I don't think so. Okay, so then why you wear a mask in China? Think about it. Why? Why you wear a mask? Because of the punishment? I don't think so. Then why? Why you don't want to scare others? responsibility, responsible for ourselves and others. Exactly. That is a law. Is that a law? That is written in a book? That is written in a that is written in a regulation book, something? That is a law. That is a legislative regulation. Morality, moreover, that is our social norms. And we many times we call that is a principle or doctrine. That is not a law, but we follow. We follow. Because we want to protect ourselves, because we want to protect the others. And however, maybe you know that what's happening in the U.S. and why people do not wear the mask. Why? The Americans, Italians, or the Brazilians, or the French. Why Americans do not wear mask? Hmm? And do you believe that the facial mask help us to protect ourselves, protect the others? Do you believe that? Do you believe this mask help us to protect us from the disease? However, do you believe that the Americans believe this? Americans don't think so. But however, gradually they are now getting aware. But however, many Americans don't believe this. Why? Because they are not well trained. They do not have this kind of doctrine for many years. They respected the human right. They respected the individual choices. They respected something. But however, in this crisis, that's totally wrong. No, it's not a religion. But however, that's a doctrine. That's a principle. That's their faith. That's their belief, whatever, and that's their norm. So, because of that difference, okay, we have a different consequences. We have a different consequences according to these differences of the doctrine. And I don't think that's a mindset something, but that's a shared value. Okay, that's a shared value system. Okay, and that we call that is a doctrine. Okay, or the social norm. Okay, or principle, not the law. Okay, and these are the one of the most important competitive advantages that differentiate us. Okay, so can you capture? Can you understand what I am talking about at the competitive advantage in Chinese? 5 elements, Dao, morality or goal, power of the goal, Tian, environment, and how to use that environment, D, okay, how we can create the situation, Zhang, leadership, Ba, doctrine, and there is the commonalities out of these 5 elements. Okay, do you remember that we manage what? As a business problem solver, we manage 2 things. We manage 2. We manage blah 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 blah, and we manage blah 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 blah. Okay, we manage what? We manage 2. We manage. We solve our business problems throughout managing. Where is it? Lucy. Lucy. Nancy. We manage what? Capital and people. Yeah, money and people. Money and people. Okay. So, but however, can you see the what is related with? Okay. So these 5 elements are related with money, or these 5 elements are related with people. These 5 elements are exercised and practiced by money or by people. By money or by people. Who exercised that morality? Who's really? Who exercised the leadership? Money exercises the leadership? Morality or doctrine can be exercised and practiced by the money? Absolutely, I know that we need both. But however, this competitive advantage is formulated by people, human power. Human power. Okay, so maybe you can remember. So when we saw the video, and there was a case of the Vietnam versus USA, and who won the game? Who won the war? Who won the war between the Vietnam and the USA? Who won the war? No. What are you talking about? Yeah, no. Vietnam War. Until the 1972. Okay, and actually the Vietnam won over the USA. Okay, in 1972 or 3 something. Okay, however, who spent more money in the war, Vietnam or the USA? Absolutely, USA spent a lot of money. But however, they were defeated. Because at that time, the Americans, the USA didn't have this kind of competitive advantage. That's the problem of the people, not the money itself. So I just want to say, competitive advantage is highly related with people and money. Absolutely, we need money, but how about fundamentally? The competitive advantage is the problem of how we can manage people. We will see that. Many times, around the 99.99%, competitive advantage is people. We will see. Okay, we'll see that. Money is relatively easy. Yeah. What's your major? So, yeah. So finance major, accounting major. Maybe you cannot believe in me because I'm a management teacher. Yeah. Because you are the HR teacher, HR expert, management teacher. You can say that that's the problem. People and no. However, but money is more. Let's. Yeah, that's my argument. That's my insistence, and that's my thinking. Competitive advantage comes from people, mainly. I will persuade it. Okay, throughout the another chapters. Anyway, so we have a better understanding about the goal of the strategy, winning without fighting, and in order to win without fighting, okay, so we do this, do that, and those skills in the war, subdue the enemies, the army without the battle, something, okay, and then there is a know your enemy, know yourself, not to lose, and then. And when you are ignorant of the enemy but know yourself, your chances of the winning or lose are equal, 50-50. Okay? And however, if you don't know yourself, if you don't know your enemy, absolutely you will lose. Okay, determine the enemy's plans, and you will know which strategy will be successful and which will not. Okay, whatever. avoid the strength and attacks the weakness. Absolutely, we want to do it. However, many times we don't do this. Okay, we don't do this because we have a problem, especially for the boys. Hey boys, Virgo, where is Virgo? Eric, is Eddie, Elkan, Kelvin, boys, or Weber, boys, Moon, Adam, David, Charlie. Okay, hey boys, do we attack the weakness or the strength? Many times, boys, we, gentlemen, okay, we boys, we attack the strengths. We attack the strengths because we have a pride. Prejudice. We are arrogant. Mainly pride itself. Then we will lose many times. That's the problem, our boys. That's the problem of testosterone. That's the problem of the adrenaline hormone problem. Okay, that is our problem. However, the humans make that kind of mistake. When we follow our brains, okay, we may need to attack the weakness. But however, when we follow our heart, yeah, pride, yeah. That's our problem. Anyway, yeah, ladies, please understand us. We have a pride and we attack the strengths many times. And then we are totally fail. That happens a lot. Sorry. Yeah. Ladies, please understand the stupid boys. Anyway, that happens a lot. Don't do that. Okay. And yeah, that's the reason why the boys need to listen the ladies' voice. That's the reason why your father follow your mother's voice. Am I right? The fathers, your father need to follow your mother's voice, mother's direction. Because that the boys has a pride. And we usually attack the strengths. We make that kind of mistake a lot. Okay, don't do that. Anyway, that is that. And the speed, we must be fast. We must kick. And do you know? Have you ever heard about the agile recently? Agile management. Anybody know that the agile management in recent years, 21st century? Agile management technique, agile management concept, agile management something. Jenny, do you know this? Agile management. What is agile management in Chinese? Agility. Yeah. Crystal, agile. Have you ever heard about this? Yes or no? No. Weber, no. No. Recently, we are now talking a lot about the agile management. Okay, agile management. Okay, so that is simply the quick management. Maybe you can understand that is that. Okay? Agile management is a quick management. Speed is matter. In 21st century, okay. Even though you make a good product, even though you make a good product in a year, okay. And what will happen if somebody else take that kind of idea and they can create that product within 2 months? Who will win? who will dominate the market? Absolutely, your competitor wins over you because they are faster. Speed is matter. Art of war indicate that speed is the essence of the war. Agile management. 21st century. So in 21st century, the art of war is getting more important. Speed is matter. Take advantage of the enemy's unpreparedness. Okay, and then strike the enemies as swiftly as a falcon strikes the target, as quickly as possible. When campaigning, be swift as the wind. Okay, you must move like a wind. And victory is the main object in the war. If this is long delayed, that's not a winning. Impact and get out. Okay, and many businesses is failing because they are failing in exit. Exit strategy. One of the most important strategy for the business is exit strategy. Exit. You must come in, do something, win, and get out. Exit strategy is one of the most important things. But many times, anybody ignore this. Okay, speed and character-based leadership, absolutely. And then SunTzu's influence on the military and the business strategy. We will keep talking about this. Now, we are now talking about the competitive advantage, and that competitive advantage concept comes from the SunTzu's art of war. We are now trying to understand what is the principles, what is the better understanding about the philosophy of the SunTzu's art of war in order to win without fighting. Because in order to win without fighting, we must create and sustain and exercise our competitive advantage. Okay? You understand that the 5 competitive advantages come from the art of war, 5 elements. That's a basic understanding. Because you are Chinese, you understand the 5 letters, right? Then you may have a better understanding about the modern strategy management. We will keep talking, competitive advantage. Okay, so then I'd better to stop here, and I will continue about talking about the competitive advantage this week, next week, and after next week. Okay, good. So far, any questions? Okay. Please believe in yourself. You are a natural born strategist because that was descended from your blood. Okay. As a foreigner, no, I don't have that blood, but you have been enough competitive advantage to win without fighting. That's the only one way to win without fighting. Be wise enough. You can do it. You can be like that because you are a descendant of that wisdom. Okay, good. Then, can I see you on Thursday? Okay, good. Then I will see you on Thursday.